The real Nicky Gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real Nicky Gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real Nicky Gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real Nicky Gritty. Boots on the ground.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I know y'all on here. Thank y'all for everything that you've done for this channel over the last 3 years. Any new viewers and subscribers joining us for the first time, thank you. Any old heads, I see Alex Jacobs. Thank you, sir, so much for your help and support, man. It means a whole lot, man. This is the kind of stuff that keeps me humble, man. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to bring on my guest here. But thank you so much, Alex, man. I'm headed to Cebu in the morning to pick up those Brooks running shoes that I'm going to need, because I'm going to need 2 pair on this walk. Halfway through, I'm going to change up. I noticed that yesterday. But those Merle shoes are really, really good, because to be honest with you, my legs aren't even hurting today. But I stretched well before the walk, after, and then Merlin stretched me last night. But the fact that my legs are not sore, it has a lot to do with those shoes. I believe they took a lot of the shock. I want to welcome my special guest, Mr. Christopher Williams. What's going on, brother?
Hey, sir. I'm just glad to be here. I just left a wedding, and I'm in Louisville. And it's always good to come home.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know Christopher Williams, he's from my hometown. Now, I'm older than him, so we didn't know each other. Because, you know, growing up, 7, 8, 9 years is a big deal. I've got a little brother. He's 7 years younger than me, man. And when I was 16, he was 9, and we wasn't hanging around. But he lost his connection. Alex said Cal needs more super chats, man. Thank y'all so much for your support. There's Robert Dame on here. He says, I married the same girl twice. Trust me, don't do it. The peso is 56.79. Let me add him again. Hey,
yeah, I'm back.
You may want, you probably just want to stay in one spot. But before we get to you and what we're going to talk about, because the topic is, I'm going to interview. Wait, I don't know what happened here. What happened to my? Wait, it's so stupid phone. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, is he having second thoughts about his Filipina ex? We'll get to this. There's Michael Beach Alive. Oh, so you're in Paying Loud, Michael. But I want to thank everybody for your help and support and encouragement on this walk. You know, I'm headed to Cebu tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to get those Brooks running shoes. And also I'm going to look for a Camelback, because I learned something doing the 22-kilometer walk yesterday. Carrying those bottles of Gatorade and water in my backpack, that's heavy. It's awkward, and then you got the trash. So I don't want to do that. And I did shift my focus, man. It's all for that expat unity, man. I mean, it's really a pipe dream, and I know, Chris, you travel a lot overseas, man. It's usually every man for himself. I hate to say it, but that's usually how it is. I mean, my community, we hang out a lot together when we're at meet and greets and stuff like that. But usually it's just every man for himself. And hell, we're 60s, 70s, and our 50s. You know, I'm not trying to be Martin Luther King today, man. I haven't given up, but it is what it is. I didn't get an old man wake-up call yesterday either, Chris, on that walk. Some guy said, man, that walk's going to humble you. I'm in a lot better shape than I thought.
You got some aches and
But
pains.
huh?
Oh, you got aches and pains. Hey, I'm just thinking about in the military. Something else you may want to get is that mole skin to go around your. I don't know if you can find it, but to go around your heels and maybe on up under your feet, like the ball of your feet.
What's it called?
It's called mole skin. That's what we call it in the army. It's like a little thin. It's almost like tape,
Yeah.
but you know, and you you can kind of sculpt it and put it up under your heel. It'll give you like a little bit more padding.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna look moleskin. Is that what you said?
yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can you turn your volume up just a little bit? Can you?
There we go. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Yeah, okay.
But kind of introduce yourself, man, because like I said, you've been on my live stream before, and this guy's from my hometown, and I put some of your links because not only are you retired from as a fireman, but you're also a writer, author, storyteller. You do a whole lot of stuff, man. Kind of fill us in before we start the interview.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been in actually Atlanta over the last 30 years, and I am retired from the fire department. I'm retired paramedic, firefighter. I don't know. I'm thinking about going back part time. Though I miss it. I really miss it. It's no other job that can compare to fire service. So right now, I'm a travel nurse in the emergency room. So when I'm not traveling, I'm working on new stories. I still travel to the Dominican Republic as often as I can. But yeah, I've actually wrote 5 different stories, and my stories are mostly based in the '90s. Just something about that time period. It was a coming of age time period for myself. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was discovering a big city, and it's a melting pot. So, like I said, most of my stories are based there. Um, I did one about a Morehouse College student. Fear Me Now was my first story. I actually wrote it while I was at Morehouse, so it's really raw. It's really
Yeah,
raw. There's a lot of raw emotion, a lot of raw feelings about a young man who discovers that America might not like the way he looks. So he decides to take things into his own hands. Um,
yeah,
it's a urban thriller. It's what it's been called. A lot of people that's read it, they've asked me, man, is that real? Because it's raw. I wrote it when I was there actually at Morehouse. So
yeah,
yeah, so I got that one, and the Bounty of Poet on the Run is 4 friends coming together. They got to come up with $30,000 by 4 a.m. It's already about 6 p.m. So they got to come up with this money. So you got the poet who's also a junkie. He's a cocaine junkie, and you got his right hand man who's really a hardened, street thug. And then you got the country boy who's from the country who's just enamored with city life. And then you got Godfrey. Godfrey is my favorite character I ever created. He's a mix of Richard Pryor, Dolomite, and a whole lot of dudes I met in the neighborhood growing up. He'll keep you laughing, but
yeah.
he's streetwise. So they had to come up with a plan. So they come up with a plan, and of course the plan don't work. So they had
Yeah.
to come up with another plan. But it's an exciting tale, through the hood. You meet different characters, and I try to impose a lot of what I seen growing up in my stories. Guys in the neighborhood, we had probably the same way, same thing. There was a lot of guys in the neighborhood that could have been comedians. I mean, they could have made it. They never got a break.
Yeah.
A lot of things we seen and did in the neighborhood. Because my kids growing up now, their life is totally different than what I've seen growing up. Which is a good
Okay.
thing. Which is a good thing to a certain degree. Totally different.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something. You were married to a Filipino before.
I was.
Now, did you meet her over here or in the States?
Uh, I've actually met her family here. Yeah,
I mean, but did you meet her here or there?
I met her in person in Gideon City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know from time to time we chat back and forth,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
said that, how long were y'all married?
We were married for almost 10 years.
Okay, yeah, because you said, you would think about, you wanted to get back with your wife. We're not gonna get personal or anything like that, but I'm saying, so you think you made a mistake by letting that marriage dissolve? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's a lot that goes into being married, man. And I wanted to be the guy that, I wanted to break the family curse. I wanted to do what my grandfather couldn't do, and what my dad couldn't do, and even what my stepdad couldn't do. You
Yeah,
know, and I wanted to do it, and I wasn't able to do it. You know,
yeah. Well, don't feel bad, man. The best of us have failed with that marriage, man. It's not easy. But what is it now, hindsight, that you say, well, because I know you're not dating a Filipina now.
no.
So in hindsight, what are you saying is the Filipina that makes her so, people, they come from all over the world to date Filipinas and stuff. So what is
Right.
it that you think, in your opinion, that makes them so appealing?
Um, from my experience and from what I've seen in other people, I mean, they make very good mates. Take very good care of the home. We have two children together. She takes very good care of them. She's a tiger mom. She's a tiger
Yeah,
mom. You know,
yeah.
she's
Let me answer this question from China's older Vulcan. He said, what should you do when you're not satisfied with your current thoughts? Just change your thoughts, China. There's something called the law of substitution. Your mind cannot occupy two thoughts at the same time. So all you have to do is just change your thoughts, man.
it's
That's
very true.
basically what that is. It's
Yeah,
real easy to do. Unless you're obsessing over something, then that's a little bit harder. But
yeah.
you still the same principle. What's up, Jack? Big Dreams Philippines said, what's up, Cal? So if you could, did y'all have any children together?
We have two children together.
Two children. So
Yeah,
when
12,
did you
12 and
did you
13.
meet her? In the 90s? Is that when y'all got married, or was it
No,
later?
no, it had to be like, what was that? 2007, October 2007.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and y'all got married.
we got married the following year. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we got married September 2008. Yeah,
So were you still in the military?
yeah. I'm a guard. I was
You was
always
good.
like reserves guard, Georgia guard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, do you know whether or not she's dating anybody else or not?
Uh, not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. Everybody needs somebody, right?
Yeah. So you would still, if if you had it your way, you'd still go back there,
Well, I
even knowing that, you know.
hey, them kids are pretty powerful. I mean, what wouldn't you do for your kids?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you always gotta think. You gotta think 50 years down the line, 25 years down the line. You gotta think about your legacy. You gotta think about setting that foundation. For you know your kids and your grandkids.
Yeah. Now, Marlon Reynolds says, can you say something about flying into the Philippines from the U.S.? Things like immigration, baggage claim, custom. Well, it's really simple to come in here. You don't have a whole lot of. Come on, booby, get out of here. Um, to
I,
talk about kids, by the way.
yeah,
Immigration is going to be a lot of people on those planes coming in here, so you may have a long wait. But as long as
yeah.
you got a passport with at least 6 months left on the before it expires, you're going to be good there. You
The
can only
PTK.
bring, $10,000 or less in cash without having to declare that with customs. baggage claim. It's no big deal. It's like flying in anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problems. Did you have any problems?
I don't remember any problem. The only thing I remember, they give you some little card right before you prepare to land, and
Yeah.
you got to make your declaration on that card, and then when you go through customs, they look at that and look at your passport. I mean, it's pretty simple. Now when you leave, I think you want to try to have a few pesos with you when you leave. I think they collect a little something when you leave, like your exit fee, but it may be the equivalent of like 20 to 25 US dollars or something. It ain't nothing earth shattering.
Yeah, they changed that actually. They
Okay.
put that
Okay.
in they put that in your ticket now.
Ah, see
That's
better.
included in your ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Vincent? Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, they add that into the ticket. But if I were you, I'd spend all my damn pesos really, because when you go to change them back in, see the exchange rate, they sell them for 56.79, but they're gonna buy them for a little bit higher than that.
Mm,
Especially at that airport, they're gonna bust your head. So if I were you, I'd get rid of them damn things while I'm here. I try to get the best rate I possibly could. When's the last time you come here to the Philippines?
it's been a while. I think it was, man, it may have been over 10 years actually, because I think it was 2012. Yeah, I think it was 2012. It's been a while. I've been a bunch of other places, but yeah, I haven't been back there since 2012. I'm looking to maybe return next year. It's either there or Thailand, or maybe I get to do both of them.
Yeah, so you've never brought your children here.
They were so small they don't even remember it.
Have they been here before?
Yes, yeah, they've been there before. I think they were like 1 and 2.
No, I mean since then.
No, they haven't been since then. No.
So your wife, because I tell people all the time, see, this is what happened with my marriage. My wife got over there, and a lot of women get over there. They don't ever come back.
It's
Or they
true.
don't want to come back.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know what that's all about. But I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know how they do it,
yeah.
because eventually I'm going to go back and visit my family and stuff. But yeah, usually, uh, man, they go over there a lot. I know a lot of women, they've never been back. I mean, in like decades. And there's one woman that I know, she's from down in Zamboanga. She's the only child, man. Her parents are getting older. She will not come home, man. I don't know what that's all about. Hey, thanks, Hurley Wilson, for that super chat. He said, "Go, good luck, brother. Go get her." Now, have you changed your mind on that? Are you still hoping that maybe y'all can reconcile?
Hey, I don't think it's gonna happen, brother. Right now, I'm got my hands full with the Dominican Republic and the Chicas.
Yeah, so
So
having gone to both of them and dealt with, you know, Dominicans and Filipinos, what could you say really? Because a lot of guys, you're, of course, the Dominican Republic, you go there so much, it's so close to the United States.
yeah.
Is that a plus? Is that the
Oh,
reason? Or what else is it?
yeah, it's a plus because from Atlanta, you can get there nonstop in under 3 hours. You know,
Yeah.
so that's the beautiful thing. It's a lot less expensive. It's a lot closer. If you like curvy women, a lot more curvy. Um, the language barrier is a negative. If you don't speak any Spanish, it can become a negative. After a while. Um,
So they don't have a large English speaking population there.
No, I haven't seen that.
Have you ever had any problems there? Like, because people say, oh, that it's dangerous. It's more dangerous
No.
there than the Philippines.
Oh no, no. I never had. You know what's funny? I never had any problems, and I never known anybody that had any problems. I have.
Well, good.
Man, I'm sure. Just it's kind of pretty the same. You got a lot of. You got a large population of people that are in dire straits. So the biggest thing is, a lot of the people are trying to, they're trying to eat. They're trying to find a way to to eat, you know. So you deal with a lot of women that have stories about the grandmother having a surgery again, or the kids need this and the kids need that, you know. But you know, you can manage that. But as far as I don't know, you know, anything like horrific that has happened to anybody, any like armed robberies or, you know,
Yeah,
anything worse that you can even conceive of. I feel a lot safer there than I do in Atlanta. I'll tell you that.
yeah. Now Kenny says, bro, you should never take a woman back. Filipinos are damn a dozen. Yeah, but they're human beings, man. You know, a lot of us that come over here, we're not these players, man. We're not from the manosphere. We're not banned into that mistreating women and all that. You know, you guys need to quit with all this stuff, man, because you're not really living it. I mean, you can come over and fall in love just like anybody else. I've seen the tough guys fall in love, and you don't say what you'll never do because they wrap them little legs around you. You do it. That's what they always say. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Don't do that. And you do everything you say you're not gonna do. I did a video on it. I've seen it. The toughest guys come over here. The hippest guys. Oh, they're not gonna scare me. They're not gonna do this. Everything you say you're not gonna do over there, 8,000 miles away, you end up doing it. You know. But we're not gonna disrespect anybody. I'm not. You know. I'm not gonna say they're damn a dozen. Because that's what my wife, my American wife, that was the last thing she ever said to me, Chris. She said, ninjas like you come a damn a dozen. I said, no, you're a lie. And she been trying to find somebody like me ever since. Okay? But I don't believe that. Neil says, good luck on your track, man. Be safe. And I don't know what he's saying right here. Power on. Well, thank you. So you got any trips planned? Are you
My next trip I have planned, actually is back to the DR around Super Bowl time. They have the Super Bowl there, especially on the North Coast where a lot of expats are. It's very festive weekend. So I mean
yeah.
that's my next trip that I have definitely planned. I'm also considering taking a trip to Ghana in late December, early January. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kevin Brooks said manosphere. He spelled it wrong, but I know what you're saying. It's not about mistreating women, old school, just not tolerating the disrespect. I didn't say that. You listen to these manosphere guys, and they all talk tough. They're always talking about the woman's the enemy and all that. See, I'm not from that school. You know, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. These manosphere guys, men going their own way. I've seen them come over here, Kevin, and I've seen them go back with their tail between their legs. Don't tell me what I'm seeing. You know, all that manosphere stuff, man, that shit don't work. Them guys, Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, and all them big guys like that, you can't live the way they live. You don't have the kind of money they got. So you can't talk to women all crazy like that and expect to have somebody. At the end of the night, you're going to want a woman. I am, unless you're going to want a man. You know, but yeah, all that tough talk, man, women ain't going to go for that, man. These guys are crazy with that. Some of the Filipinos come a damn a dozen. These guys will never learn, man. How old are you, Chris?
I'll be 51 in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So you know a little bit about women, man, and how to handle women and, you know, what they're going to tolerate and what they're not, right? They're not going to tolerate that foolishness like that.
Nah,
I
definitely.
think my mother told me something a long, long time ago. I probably was 8 years old. She said, a woman is the least of your worries. Take care of yourself and you're going to have a woman. And that's the way I look at it. You know, if you clean, if you're intelligent, if you got some type of conversation, you're going to have a woman. You don't have to do all that stuff. When you start talking about this manosphere stuff, something's lacking. You get women are just going to come and fall at your damn feet. Them is the olden days. This ain't 1940, man. Hurley Wilson, thanks for that super chat. He said, what about the kids? Your legacy. Don't you want to be close to your kids? Family first is she tripping? Then yes, the DR. But that's what he said. You said that that's the only reason you wanted to go back with your wife was because of kids, right?
Your legacy. You got to think about. I just left a family reunion earlier today too. So you got to think about your children's children. You know.
Yeah. See, that's a big mistake I made. I didn't think it all the way through with my first marriage, man. My oldest daughter was 14 when I left. It devastates the kids, man. You be so angry, man. You can't think straight when you're angry.
Right.
It's best to calm down. And then, hindsight's always 20/20. Because, man, I tell you, them divorces and stuff like that, they put a whammy on them kids, man. And, you feel so helpless because you got some other man there. He's not half the man you are, and he's around your children and all that. See, but we never think about that when it's time, to break up. We basically think about ourselves.
Right.
And, a lot of men are just not having children. Are those only two you got, Chris?
I have an older daughter from my first marriage.
Yeah.
She's in her early 20s.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made because I never said I promised myself I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to spread my kids around because, man, my kids need me, especially my two sons. See, that's probably the only reason I'm going to go back to that I would have to go back to the United States.
Right.
For my sons. See, that would be the only thing that would bring me back to that matrix. To make sure, because I'm 60 now, man. I've lived my life, really. I just want to make sure they get off to a good start. And They know what they're supposed to know because I'm the only one can teach them. But yeah, when you start talking about kids, it gets kind of dicey.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like a catch-22. It's like, do you be unhappy? Because you can't have that unhappiness if your kids are there and, they want to see you loving on the mother. And, if you can't do that, that's going to be a problem too.
Yeah.
But my daughters never really have forgiven me. They say they think it's all my fault. Even though they've had relationships right now and they see the other side.
Right.
They think, that I'm that. So they've got a lot of them, 3 of my 4 daughters, they're angry with me. But they'll ask me for money.
Of course.
But they're mad at me because, they're close with their mother. The connector said simps get laughed at by women behind closed doors. Now, you're younger than me, Chris, so I guess you know a lot about simps and stuff like that, but I guess that's subjective. What is a simp?
I'm not really sure. I think that's some under 40 talk.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know a lot of guys. I don't have any friends that have simp conversations.
I mean, I just don't know what type of women these guys are dealing with. When, that you don't have to treat them nice. Even if you take the biggest, manosphere guy on the planet says there's nothing wrong with, taking care of a woman and treating her nice. I mean, I don't understand what is a simp? I don't get it. I mean, we're not going to be a doormat. You're not going to let a woman just walk over you, but hell, just because you take care of a woman, buy nice things and stuff like that, that's considered you a simp and showing us some respect. I don't get it. I don't know what that simp. I'm glad I don't know. Because hell, I ain't got time to be worrying about that stuff. Jungle Man Space Cowboy says, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Angley City. Yeah, my buddy Sammy Davis, he got that all set up. It's going to be at T-Backs. I've never been to Angley City, but that sounds like a pretty professional place, Chris. T-Backs. The name of it.
Okay.
October 28th. So if anybody's up that way, and everybody's invited, man. It'd be my first time going to Angley City. I want to see if it is what they say it is, or is it just, a bunch of guys up there talking? W Secret to Success, thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, she called you a ninja? Say it ain't so. No, she did. She said, ninjas like me come a dime a dozen. And she's been looking ever since. She was wrong. You know. ASMR says, Cal, you ever met a girl and after a while she just got straight up annoying? Well, that's how it always is. Women in America, they're gonna be confrontational. Is that what you're saying? Confrontational, and then you don't get your way and all of that, and then you gotta beg and plead for something at the end of the night. See, I got tired of that. So yeah, I've dealt with that before, but I'm not dealing with it anymore. So is it like that over in the DR? How are they? Are they pretty submissive over there?
No, I tell you, that's why I love going. You know why? It's old school. It reminds me of probably even before when I was growing up. The women are still very feminine. Men are men are still allowed to be men. You're still allowed to be a strong man, strong man, and women are still feminine. They pretty much follow their um I, I guess you would call it the designated old school roles that we were used to growing up. So
Yeah.
like all the young women still know how to cook. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a good sign when a woman knows how to cook, man, as far as I'm concerned. That's
Right.
a real good sign because
Yeah.
that's what a man wants. You've been working hard all day. You want to come home to a satisfying meal,
Right.
not just, some food. Because I've eaten in restaurants before, man. It wasn't satisfying.
Right.
I want a satisfying meal where you're like, man, every bite is good. You
Yeah.
don't want you don't want it to ever end. So I was fortunate that every woman I've dealt with over here but one could cook. My American wife and my Filipino wife, they were both excellent cooks. He said everyone wants a doormat, but see, that's the whole thing. So what is so I guess a woman is, can there be a woman simp? You don't want to be the doormat, but you want her to be the doormat. Is that what we want? A woman's going to lay down and just give us what we want. And, because we want the easiest off the way. And that's the reason why most men, I didn't say it, psychologists say they end up with a woman they really don't want because we're afraid of approaching attractive women. So, but the guys who aren't, they end up with the beautiful women. They end up with the women they really want, and they stay married a long, long time. But most of us, we take that easiest off the way. Okay, what did they say? Water seeks its lowest point or something.
Right.
That's what we want.
Mm.
The easy play, one night. A lot of us married in one night stands, man, and I don't think that's a good thing. Uh, Frank Ellis said, "What's a simp?" Steve Harvey. Well, I seen Steve.
Oh.
I seen through Steve Harvey. People over in America, they think because they got a lot of money, you're supposed to follow whatever they say and all that, man. I don't believe. I saw it through. He's phony to me. That's just me, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's successful and all that. So what? He still can't keep a woman. He's still a human being. He's 66, man. His wife's old anyway. I'll be like, okay, you want to fool around? Go ahead. Thank you. Now I can go and get me the top notch, cream of the crop with the kind of money he's got.
Yeah.
This woman's got to be in her 50s. Who wants a 50-year-old woman? I don't. I don't care what she look like. How old is your woman, Chris, that's over in the DR?
She's early 40s.
Yeah, but she ain't 50. Right?
and
Yeah, that's kind of.
and she's my honestly, I have a friend or two. I just say it that way.
Yeah. It's just that, you be careful. You know, when he used to talk on his show, it would just make me cringe, man. Because I'm like, dude, they made you, man. You're no funnier than you were before. They just saw the people in power chose you to say, hey, let's let this man be the mouthpiece. Because you're no funnier now, Steve, than you were before. Actually, you were funnier then when you were struggling. He's not funny to me.
So an interesting fact that I just learned. I guess I was slow. I didn't know. Have you read any of his books? Think Like a Man, or seen the movie?
I haven't.
So I thought this is what I thought in my mind. I thought in my mind he was trying to get the men to act like men to be responsible and accountable, right? My buddy told me no. He's trying to teach the women how to think like men. That's what it's about. Think like a man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was I was
you can't
surprised.
call him stupid. You can't call him stupid because with all this manosphere stuff and all this, what you call it, where Me Too stuff,
Right.
somebody smart would be trying to, who's only about the money, want to sell books and stuff. You're gonna get on the side of the woman, especially if you're a man, and you're gonna take her side. That's all he's doing, really. You know, that's all he's doing. You can't forget where you come from. And I think that's what he's doing. If you got 3 divorces. I mean, you've been married 3 times. You get ready to have 3 divorces. You know, tell us what you're doing wrong so we don't do it. But don't, come from some spiritual hilltop. I gotta agree with what's the dude that talks all the blackosphere stuff? What's his name? He's real smart. Uh, he got Umar Johnson.
Oh, Dr.
He
Umar.
said he's too Christ up. See,
Yeah.
you can see through that phoniness, man. When people always talking religion all the time, man, turns me off, man. I'm like, come on, man, just live it. DJ Lloyd Buck says my buddy married a girl from the DR and had a baby. Then after 3 years, she divorced him and took his money and moved back to the DR and got a big house with his monthly child support payment for the next 15. I think, hell, them stories happen all over.
Rule number 1: don't bring him to the States. He probably broke a bunch of rules. That's the first rule.
Yeah. But is it easy for them, since they're so close to the United States, is it any easier for them to come to the States, Chris, that you know of?
Not that I'm aware of. There's still a process. There's still a process. It ain't like you can just come down and marry somebody. Matter of fact, my uncle married a Dominican lady. He met her in November. He married her in February. Right, and everybody was looking at me because I'm the one who started bringing them down here.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell me he was getting married. I looked up. He sent me pictures. He was getting married. He was headed back on the plane. He said, "Hey man, check these pictures out." I was like, but there's a process. Like he can't just bring her right back to the States, And
Yeah.
he plans on going there to live. So
Wow, it's crazy. You
yeah,
would think they were so close, but it seems like the closer you are to the United States, the worse they treat you.
true.
Because I'm gonna tell you, you're right there at the Dominican Republic, Haiti,
Mhm.
Mexico.
Panama.
Yeah, but the closer you are to the United States, they like, man, stay away from here. You might as well be way over here. You gotta go through the same process. Even though with Cuba, same way with Cuba. Now I was dating a Cuban lady for 2 years, man, and I learned so much about that Cuban and America relationship. And it's really sick, man. We're the only ones who still have those what you call sanctions and stuff against
Right.
Cuba.
Right.
She got to the United States the long way. She went to Spain because they can still go to Spain and work, and she stayed there for 10 years. And then she just one day said, I'm taking my daughter to America. So they flew to Mexico and walked across the border, knowing they were going to get caught. But by her being a Cuban,
Mm-hmm.
they can't just send you back.
Okay.
She it's some type of, what do you call it? When
Hmm.
you say, hey, if you send me back, I'm going to get in trouble, maybe killed or something.
Asylum.
Yeah. That's what they get. And she's got U.S. citizenship paid for.
Yeah.
Everything's paid for. Everything I had to pay for my Filipino wife to come to America, she got it for free. And she's got disability over there in America for some heart disease she had. Never worked a day in her life in America, man.
Wow.
But yeah, it's tough. We should go to them little parties, just like when you dealt with Filipinas in America and you go to these little get-togethers, nothing but Filipinas and foreigners.
Yep.
The same way with Cubans, except it'd be all Cubans there. I'm the only American. And you meet some people, maybe like, how long you been over here, man? I just got here. I was on a boat, a raft, man, for 2 weeks. Because once they make it to America, I mean, the border, they're safe.
Right.
He was rescued off the coast of, I think he said Key West, Florida, but it's some horror stories, man. You talking about some stories you could tell because you're a damn storyteller.
Well, it's interesting. No matter how bad that we think it is here, there are people still dying to get here every day.
Oh yeah, but the context about that though. The context about that. We're 4% of the population, but we control 25 to 40% of the world's resources. Everybody else is basically starving.
Right.
They're coming there not because they want to be American. They want to live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eat.
I don't blame them. Yeah, they want to eat. We got the money over there. And I don't blame them. But we're supposed to be this big religious country. And look how we treat the rest of the world. Crazy, man. Lee Robinson says, hey, Chris, what part of the DR are you located?
Well, I actually have a little condo on the North Coast up in Sewell Beach.
Yeah.
Where I like to frequent.
See, I remember I was telling y'all that YouTube was pushing all this junk, right? I saw yesterday, I'm just scrolling through because I want to say congratulations to Deion Sanders. He took all that flack, man. They talked all crazy about it, man. He ended up winning that game. Well, that's what I was looking at. And on my feed popped up, a guy's got a challenge. I mean, on his challenge, like, what $255 gets you in the Dominican Republic for one night. And he's got 3 big Shirleys in the damn bed. And I'm like, dude, these are fat women. I don't know why you thinking they're nothing. I don't care what you can call them curvy all you want. To me, they were fat. But anyway, he got just hundreds of thousands of views on this thing. Because some people like that stuff. They like those big women like that.
Hey, everybody like what?
Yeah, you like what you like. But that's the kind of videos people are watching. He had these 3 big women in the bed, and it was, the name of it is what a $255 suite looks like in the Dominican Republic. And these 3 big ass women. But you're like, okay. But I'm pretty sure they've got some healthy ones over there. They probably got, I've seen them when I was in America. I see why they bring them over there, man. But they've got some, believe it or not, man, when I was in Cagayan de Oro, all you got to do is go to Mindanao. Have you been to Mindanao, Chris?
Mindanao. Is that where Zamboanga City is?
Yeah, and all of that. It's a big place.
Yeah. I've been to Mindanao. When I first got there, I went to Mindanao.
Well, that's, if you want to see Filipinos with shapes, I'm talking about boom, boom, boom. That's where they are, man. I've seen so many in Cagayan de Oro, and you're like, these 100% Filipinos, but they are, because Filipinos are mixed with all kinds of stuff. They're not straight up and down, man. They never have been. I mean, all you got to do is go to the gym with me one day over here. You'll see it. You'll be like, wow, He said they want the money and the benefits. Well, hell, what woman doesn't want that?
Right. They all want security.
They all want that. What do we want though? It's easy to say what the woman wants. What do you want? Just what they call it, pump and dump. What do they call that? What they call it? That's all we want. It seems like that's all we want. I want an intelligent woman, man. I want somebody that I can get along with, that I like being around.
Right.
And yeah, I want her to be attractive to my eye. I want some eye candy.
Right.
But if I just wanted sex, man, I could get that over here, man, all day long, twice on Sunday. But, with these cultural differences and stuff, man, you better make sure you get with the right woman. He was talking about how I ever dealt with women that can be annoying. These women will be annoying over here without even trying to be annoying, because they're so different from you. And you're like, would you quit smacking your damn food? And wash your hands before you eat and all that stuff, before you cook my food. I don't do that now, but I'm saying I've done that before. I'm just sitting back and I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. They will come right from out in the field and you cook you and fix you a damn sandwich without ever washing their hands. And you got to be like, look, lady, wash your hands before you make my food, and then they'll get mad. Okay. But y'all say that cultural differences don't make a difference. I say they do.
Oh, it makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference. You've been married, not just Filipinos, but anybody from a different culture. But
Yes.
you being married to a Filipino, what's some of the things that they would do, like?
Well, I wish I could have, your show was a big resource. It's a whole education before people go over. Even when even after you go over, because there's just so much to learn. I don't know, that dried fish they used to cook. Oh man, it used to stink up the whole house, man. That's like, man,
Yeah,
finally got like a little fryer, and she would fix it like out back. She would plug it in with your extension cord and fix it in the back. Of course, you got the language barrier, just some of the customs, the way you go about doing things. The elders, they're real big on respect. So they used to go around putting the hands on the foreheads for all the elders. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn.
it's a lot to learn, man. But sometimes you go in the bathroom and they don't flush. You're like, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody else's what somebody else ate for dinner the night before. And but that's just I'm saying I've done that before, not in my house. Why do y'all think I made that video, the Jordan rules? But nobody watches it. These are the educational videos when you're like, okay, I can learn so much from a video like that, because we're talking about cultural differences. Okay. If you put a plate of chicken out there, they're going to pick through it until they get the piece they want. They're going to touch every piece. And you're like, don't touch my chicken. I don't want that. Now I've seen you touch it. I can't eat it. Okay. So I'm just saying, I'm not putting anybody down. This is just cultural differences. They see me do some stuff that I do. We use toilet paper and all that stuff. And it's just a whole lot of stuff that you have to be, like you said, you have to be knowledgeable about. It's going to throw you for a loop, man. You'll be like, wow. You see men pissing on the side of the road, then they'll come and want to shake your hand and stuff like that, right? You've probably seen that, man. You got to be careful. DJ Lord Buck said, Cal graduated from UC at Boulder, and we're proud of Coach Prime and our team, Colorado Bluffs. He and our team broke many records today. We're proud over in Colorado. I'm happy for the fan base, man, because, hell, they won, one game last year? Yeah, they won one game last year.
Wow.
He says, I'll watch that next Jordan moves. Yeah, you'll see that, a lot of it, they're not really trying to They don't mean harm and and everything like that. It's just the way that they're doing things. And you're in the Philippines, so now in Rome you got to do as the Romans do. Yeah, he said fist bump time. But how successful has your books been, Chris? What's your biggest seller?
Actually, my new biggest seller is on Kindle. My memoirs. I did a book. I have two what I call my quality assurance team. They read all my stuff before I put it out, and they said my memoirs is the best thing I've done. Had a pretty good success on Kindle. It's called Memoirs of a Black Boy, 1979 and 1989. Come love me now, and I go through the whole. I'll go through the whole. I want to say, stories of boy in the neighborhood.
Can y'all open the gate or let Curly in or let him out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
and I want
I start
to thank everybody now that's purchased my ebooks.
Yeah.
I went over 200, hell, that's pretty good for a first time.
Yeah.
But I want to say for Chris though,
it's great.
He's a legitimate writer. I mean, he's published and he has editors and stuff like that. Me, I don't. I really am raw, but I'm gonna get me an editor, because everybody needs help. And a lot of times, at least we're writing our own stuff. A lot of times they'll put these celebrities' face on the book, but they're not writing that stuff.
Right.
But at least we're writing our own stuff. He said they don't use toilet paper. Well, toilet paper is not the most sanitary way to wipe your behind. You're going to leave some stuff behind. You're not going to get it all clean. I learned that over here. See, now what I do is I'll wipe with toilet paper first, then I'll get the soap and water. I never did that until I came over here. I did learn that because when you use toilet paper, man, you're not getting everything. It's not the most sanitary way to wipe your butt. Let's be honest with it.
Wow.
He says, why do they come to America rather than the BRIC countries? Well, I just told you. That's where the money is in America. That's where all the resources are.
Yeah. We
got the big military. So if World War III does go down, that's where I want to be in America because there won't be any more Pearl Harbors anymore. It may be a 9/11 because we've already let the people over there. They're over there now, just waiting for the right time, I guess. But that's where the resources are. Yeah, he said clean water. Yeah. Yeah, toilet paper is just an option, man. It's not really the best way to do it. To be honest with you, I mean, I haven't just used toilet paper by itself since me and Merlin's been together for sure. That's over 4 years. I just don't, man. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot cleaner. There's no more stripes in my underwear, because that's embarrassing. Because I don't wash my own clothes over here. So I don't want some woman to pick up my underwear and see them stripes in there because, they'll talk, Cal, he's a nice guy, but he leaves stripes in his underwear. I don't want that. So, I make sure I'm clean. And it's just stuff like that you learn over here. What else are some differences? What is it you don't like about the DR? Because I know you're on the other side of Haiti, right? Do the Haitians sneak over there? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey, can y'all let Curly out? Because can y'all let Curly out? Let him out. Let him out because he wants to get out. He'll sit there and bark all day.
If what I understand, a bunch of Haitians there. Some of them are documented. Some of them are born there. So, but from what I can tell, a lot of them have the labor jobs. So,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, that's from what I can tell. But I tell you what, every Haitian that I've talked to, very intelligent, very articulate, speak at least 4 or 5 languages, speak English fluently, speak their dialect, speak French and Spanish. I mean, I met a few ladies over there that I'm telling you, very intelligent. I have a lot of
Yeah.
respect for the Haitian community.
Oh, absolutely. Robert Dame says he's been married 6 times to 5 different women. I think in the beginning he said he married the same woman twice. So he said, "Don't do it, Chris."
Oh,
Uh, yeah. Uh, Jacob Tante said it's like buying a used car twice, and I don't know. But sometimes we make mistakes. You know, we let things go when we probably should have kept them. Is that the way you feel, Chris? Like you made a mistake. Maybe you should have stayed with her.
hey, I tell you what, I definitely have made plenty of mistakes. Um, I think she had a hard time adjusting here, honestly, and I don't think she had the resources or the support needed to help her make a transition. And after a while, I got a little frustrated. I hear you talk about it every now and then. It was very difficult having a conversation and have to keep saying, huh? She can't understand me. I can't understand her. A lot of the cultural differences here, she was, not familiar with. And also, like I hear you say sometimes, um, I end up, having a girlfriend after a period of time. And honestly, it felt good to have those deeper conversations. So,
Yeah. Now, what about the Filipino support group? Did she have that?
she had that. I don't think she utilized it. Like I was telling you, our first argument was trying to get her to learn how to drive. She didn't want to learn how to drive. She didn't
Yeah.
want to go to English school. Maybe I made her too comfortable. I don't know. In hindsight, everything's 2020. So
D Ray 318 says, "Have you ever heard of Pag Pag?" Yeah, I have. Uh, but to my knowledge, I've never eaten that.
what is
And
that?
you can go to a lot of the. You have to be real careful. When you go to certain carinderias, especially around squatters areas, especially around places like Tondo. But it's a big business here. Okay, and what they do, if you never heard of Pag Pag, it's just they'll go around to places like Jolly Bee, KFC, and different restaurants. See, in America, they throw that stuff away. People go in the dumpster and get it. Well, these people go and they'll buy it. They'll buy the trash, the meat, the chicken bones for a certain amount per kilo. Then they'll take the meat, they'll take it home, strip the meat off of it. What do they do? How do they clean that meat? Boil it? Pag Pag. Pag Pag.
Wow.
Well, anyway, and then they'll recook it like in an adobo or something like that, and then sell it. And they earn a lot of money off that. Um, but yeah, if I've never see Merlin act like she don't know what it is. She said what I'm saying, like peg pig. Oh, I don't know what that is. You know, is that the truth or not? I don't know, but a lot of people don't know what it is. But yeah, they resell old food. They cook it, get it out of the garbage, they clean it, and resell it. They cook it some kind of way, usually with ketchup and sauce and stuff like that. Yeah, he said, "Damn, 6 times." Robert been married 6 times, man.
Wow.
I hope he don't come over here and get married, Robert.
I guess there's still hope for me.
Yeah, some habits are hard to break. Yeah, he said married 6 times. Yeah, yeah. Peg Peg is just where they get the food out of the garbage, they clean it, and then they recook it in a different way, usually like a sauce, some type of stew or something. So be careful over here. Yeah, he said, welcome back, China's older Boken. He said in Indonesia, they just banned merchants from selling dog meat and cat meat. Well, see, all that stuff is just cultural, really. You know, when we eat cows, the Indians look at us like you're crazy, like we're doing something nasty. See? But if you go back in your history, because history matters, guys, during the Depression, horse meat was big in America till they finally outlawed it, and people are still eating horse meat over there. All you gotta do, look at it, look on YouTube or any place like that. You'll see where, you know, these slaughterhouses, people are still selling horse meat.
Wow.
Because people were eating horse meat. You didn't have a choice. You know, remember they were on here bragging about, you know, I'm glad that I was dropped off in America. Yeah, at the time right now is a good time, you know, to be dropped off in America. But what about if you were back in the late 20s and early 30s? It wasn't a good time to be here, man. But right now it is, I guess. Slick Brian says, I've heard of that. Yes, a lot of that going on. He said that pack meal was traumatic to watch and sold and eaten. Yeah, he says a few videos of it on YouTube. You know, but that's because we can't wrap our minds around the struggle over here. We don't even try. We're just looking at the woman and what she can do for us. You never try to understand the culture. You never try to understand what's really going on over here. Then when you take them back to America, you wonder why they do the things that they do. You don't understand the background. You don't understand how hard it is. You don't understand all that stuff, man. You can't take some people from the province and take them straight to America. And that's what we try to do. And act like they're going to act right. Or act like the way you're supposed to. They're going to act the way you think they're supposed to act. Y'all got a lot to learn, man. I'm telling you. Y'all got a lot to learn about women overseas. Especially over here, man. You know, it's a struggle for a lot of people over here. You know, believe it or not, you know, some people like my wife, sometimes all they would eat, every Filipino has a story. Did your Filipino have a story about how hard it was growing up?
Yes.
They all have a story. Marilyn was 11, raising her sisters and brothers. I'm talking about actually having to be responsible for what they ate. You know, their place to live and all of that. She used to take her sisters and brothers to school with her. There was no daycare. My ex-wife, they would eat rice and salt, man. That was it. I guess that would be our equivalent of a damn syrup sandwich or a ketchup sandwich.
Right.
You ever eat them, Chris?
I had my share back in the day.
Yeah, you know, because I grew up, man, it was a family of 9 of us. Now, a loaf of bread didn't last long, man. You know, sometimes the first cereal I can remember eating, it wasn't even real cereal. It was sugar, bread, and milk. And that's a trick my father taught us. And I used to eat that. It's crazy when I think about it now.
Wow.
So, yeah, I can understand the struggle. But a lot of these guys, they can't understand it. They've been living so well in America that they come over here, they think everything's going to be that way.
Right.
Not with the women we deal with. Now, there's rich people over here that have money that you could only dream of having. But the women that we deal with, the places we go, you got a lot to learn, man. You got a lot to get used to. But don't think you're better than them. Remember, that's a turnoff over here. Filipinos don't like that arrogant stuff, man. You want to turn off a woman over here? That's why when we come over here, we try to leave with our wallet. We're literally trying to buy these women. And they feel all uncomfortable, like I'm not for sale.
Right.
You know, that's why they'll say, no, I don't want that. When you like, come on, let me buy you this, let me buy you that. They're like, no, I don't want it. I'm not for sale. And Global Go-Getter, he said, shit, horse meat, peg, no sir. Where are the fruit and vegetables? He said, y'all can have all that. We're just saying it's what it used to be like. But nowadays, you don't know what you eating, man. You know, a lot of people, whether you realize it or not, it's pork in every damn thing. Them damn chicken legs and chicken thighs you eating is probably pork. Now, what kind of food's over there? I guess the Dominican Republic, they probably got good food over there, right?
A lot of beans, a lot of rice. Food, the food really reminds me of Mexican food. You know, if you like, if you like that kind of spicy food with beans, rice, a lot of tortillas, tacos, burritos. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now he says, hey Cal, what's a typical meal for you? The most Filipino food is unhealthy. But not really, man. It depends on who you are. I eat the same foods over here as I did at home. Okay? That's just how it is. I eat chicken, fish, majority of the time. I eat rice, potatoes, something green like broccoli, green beans, or something like that. It's no different, really. I mean, there's only so many ways you can cook that stuff. But if you want fruit and vegetables over here, hell, this is the place to be. They got fruit and vegetables. What do you remember most about the Philippines that you can remember, Chris, when you were here?
First thing I remember is when I was in Manila. First thing I remember when I stepped outside the airport is just a smell in the air. And I had never smelled that smell before. I don't know if somebody's cooking. I don't know. It just, a very unique odor in the air. I think it's some of the food they were cooking. Every time I went through the airport in Manila, when I stepped out, I smelled it every time. I had never been around. Here in America, we got DFAX, we got CPS. I wasn't accustomed to seeing children begging. I mean, that broke my heart. We stopped at a red light, and I guess I made the mistake of giving some change to one of the kids. Before I knew it, it was like 10 kids literally on the van, with their hands out. And then we took off, and someone was still hanging on. I gave as much change away as I could, to as many of them as I could. But I had never seen so many children that were in impoverished conditions.
Yeah, that's something that you have to get used to.
On the flip side of that, though, I have 5 countries listed, most beautiful women in the world. And these are my 5: Brazil, Colombia, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Thailand. I mean, from what I can tell, maybe there'll be other places the more I travel. That's delicate feminine I've ever seen. Yes.
Yeah. So that's your top 5.
Definitely my top 5. Like I say, I want to go to Ghana next year, and maybe Kenya, Ethiopia. I got friends that have been there. They had a very good report. But right now, that's my top 5.
You said Brazil was number 1.
No particular order. It's just top 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then when's the last time you've been? When's the last time you've been to Brazil?
Never been. I have a friend that lives there, so that's
I was in. That's a good choice because we went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I tell you, your eyes are going to pop out because over there, it's just a laid back. It's laid back like it is here. It's the first time I ever seen a fishnet bikini in real life. Normally you see them in Playboy magazines and stuff like that. No, you be in them outdoor cafes on Copacabana Beach. Those women will walk by in a fishnet bikini, man. And they're leaving nothing to be desired. You hear me?
Can't even imagine.
Nothing. You can't. I'm gonna tell you, man. Now you talking about at that time, Brazil was considered the most beautiful women. Well, actually, Rio in the whole world.
Wow.
Remember, beauty's subjective, so you really don't know. But yeah, it's some stunners over there, man. They're not afraid to show it. And he says that Brazil's number one. It's just what you like. Some people don't like all them curves and stuff. Some people like them slim and trim. Okay. But Colombia's not too far behind Brazil. We went to Cartagena, Colombia. They're not too far behind. I mean, if that's all you want to do is you want to see is eye candy. Venezuela. I met 2 Venezuela women when I went to Cancun by myself in 2009. And I don't know if there's if there's more beautiful women than that. It's just, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
But I want a woman that's going to be cooperative, man. It's going to be agreeable. I don't want a fantasy. I want to go somewhere where I could actually be with the nice looking women. And see, over in Brazil and all those places like that, they're so close to the United States that if you think that they're westernizing the Filipinas, imagine what's going on over there, man. And then they've got black men over there. They got white men over there. They got everything over there anyway already. I just want a woman that's going to be agreeable. And see, over here, you can actually live the fantasy. I found myself looking a lot over in Brazil, man. It's like they really ain't trying to, give you the play for real, like they do over here. Craig Anthony says that they don't like curves. They probably don't have a palate for fine food. Yeah. Now, how did you meet your woman? Did you meet online over there in the DR? Do they have like sites like they do over here, Chris?
They do. They have the Dominican Cupid is the most popular one. No, to make a long story short, there was actually a woman that I was dating here. I'm sorry, just dating in the DR. And first couple of days of our date went really good. The last day or so didn't. So this is what I decided. I said, I'm gonna go on back to Atlanta a day early. So I go to the airport, and one of the, I don't know what the title is, little check-in ladies. One little check-in ladies. She was, she caught my eye. So I gave her my card, and I went on, and I went through security, and she called me when I made it through security. She called me.
Yeah.
She's bilingual, and we've been talking ever since.
Yeah.
Great
So they got a Dominican Cupid, huh?
Oh yes, it's a very popular site. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these dating sites are getting busy all over the world.
Oh, definitely. Somebody's making a lot of money.
Mr. X said, Calvin, if you went to Miami tomorrow, you'll see G-string bikinis everywhere. No, I'm talking about a fishnet. You're not going to see fishnet, are you? A G-string is one thing, and fishnet is another. Because you ain't seeing nothing in the front there. You got to use your imagination a little bit. But when you got the fishnet, the real fishnet, there's nothing left to the imagination. You might as well be naked. And those women over there, man, that's where the G-string was created over there. In Brazil. So yeah, when you go over there, because I was watching the guy before he passed away. I forgot his name, but he made it popular. He was like a big deal over there. Charles something, trying to encourage guys to get their passports and stuff, right? Back then, before passport bro stuff. He was talking about men crying in the airport when it was time to leave. And I was like, wow, it's the same way over here. It's so good that you don't want to leave. when it's time for you to leave, man, you sad, right? Do you get that feeling in the Dominican Republic? It's
every
just so,
every
yeah.
every time. Every time I go, I have an adventure, and every time I love it, and every time I don't want to leave. I just wish I'm working on getting a few more things in place where I can go and stay longer.
Yeah.
Like my
You know,
uncle,
when I first,
uncle moved there. He has sold his house. He'll probably be gone by the end of the month.
wow.
Yep.
Now, what's the cost of living like over there?
Well, the way when I do Google searches on countries, I'm not sure how you do it or other people do it. What I do is I look at the country's average monthly income, household income in U.S. dollars, and the
Okay.
the average over there is like $350.
Wow. So that's a little bit more than the Philippines is like 250.
Mm, wow.
But
Yep.
remember, you're talking about the highest of the high salaries and nothing.
Hmm.
So, you know, very few people that I know over here have those type of jobs that I know in my circle.
Hmm.
You know, that people I deal with, because that'll be a lot of money. It's like 12,500. That's a real good job over here. 12,500 uh pesos per month or something like that, right? A little bit more now because uh well, actually a little bit less because the dollar's so strong. But you know, that would be considered a good job over here. Most of the people that you are going to meet over here, they're earning anywhere from 4 to 8,000. 10,000 is even a good job over here.
Wow.
10,000 pesos. And that's why it's very important that we try to understand the peso economy. Because if we don't, man, you're always going to overspend over here. You're always going to overspend. Everything's going to look like um, a deal. But that's a good way to do it. You know, that's what I tell guys. Just ask the woman what her salary is. Then you'll really understand how much your dollar's worth over here. If she's earning, you know, 10,000 pesos per month, which is about 175 US dollars right now for the whole entire month.
Right.
You know, why would you give her, 20,000 every 2 weeks or whatever it is we do? Because, we do that over here. I don't know. I know they're spending that kind of money in Dominican Republic, or are they? Are they spending the kind of money there that they spend here?
Yeah, it's probably very comparable.
They
Um,
do the same stuff, huh?
yeah, I know. I know the couple of people I know pretty well. They make the equivalent of like $80 a week. I don't know anybody making $100 a week. Now my buddy dates an attorney in the DR. He told me she
Yeah,
makes the equivalent of 1,200 US dollars a month, and she's an attorney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, do men go over there and act a fool though, like they do over here?
Oh yes. Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, most definitely, they come over and lose their minds. They come
yeah,
over.
they really lose their
Yeah.
man over here.
Yeah.
I can imagine the DR because it's so close.
See,
You probably just yeah,
right. The biggest factor in that is that there's not a that I'm aware of. There's not an economy airline that's going to the Philippines. See, you got to spend that money, and you got to have the time to go there and to have a good time and come back. The difference is you got guys going down to the DR on Spirit Airlines, on Frontier Airlines, paying $200, $250 round trip. See, it's very accessible. They can go down there. You spend 6 hours or whatever getting there on a couple of connections and a layover, and
yeah,
they'll ball out and come back in 3 days. See, and it's on the Eastern Standard Time. No time has changed. See, that's the
wow,
right there. Yeah,
wow. But are
yeah.
they stunners all up and down the beaches over there like that?
Oh, yeah, well, I wish I could bring. I mean, I got some pictures I can send you.
Yeah, there's gotta be
Oh,
for people to. to be
definitely.
going over there. What's the name of that real popular place? It starts with an S. How
Sosua
you
Beach.
pronounce that?
Sosua Beach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so Sosua Beach is a international tourist destination because all the ladies on the island that are mm, working ladies, shall we say, they come there to work. So they come from
Oh
all,
wow.
yeah. So if you're on the street, I see you walking and doing your videos and the pictures. A lot of times they'll turn their face. They don't want their family to know that they're there. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
So what? How much does it cost for a lady over there? Just I know you don't know, but what you probably heard about it.
I mean, I've heard, for I don't know, 4,000 pesos, you can, have a good time. I'll say it like that.
So that would be what about $70 or something?
Something like it. Yeah.
Now is that the whole night? Is that the whole night?
From what I'm hearing, I got some buddies that go back and forth. It's so maybe a couple of hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we were over in Thailand, I don't work on the clock,
Right.
but
Me.
we went to Nana Plaza and we were just asking. And
Yeah.
don't you know it's crazy because okay, they'll say like I'm trying to think. Uh, what was I want to say it was like 3,000 baht in those clubs. Okay, but it's only a short time. But you go right outside to the ladies on the street, and
Mm-hmm.
they're talking about 1,500 baht for the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I guess those women in those bars you know, have to pay to be in there.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, it's like 3,000 baht or something like that.
Right.
But
Mm.
it runs the gamut, and it was like
Uh-huh.
the farther you get away from Nana Plaza, the cheaper it is. But
Yeah.
probably the more dangerous too, I guess.
Right. Right.
As far as diseases and stuff,
Right.
because that's why I would put the Philippines way up here over a lot of those places for guys who trying to find women because you can get a regular woman over here. You don't have to deal with, all of those prostitution and all that stuff. You can just get a regular woman over here. And that goes a long way as far as I'm concerned. I mean, as regular as they're going to be, you know, when you send her to the doctor, she's not gonna come back with a laundry list of stuff wrong with her. They're
Right.
just regular women. But a lot of those places, when you see them guys in Thailand, man, I was watching a video yesterday. A guy he called it Walking Street. It wasn't. It was Soy Six. I've been there. It's just thousands of women, man. But you're like, a lot of them, man, they just don't look that good. It's like, who's buying these women?
Yeah.
And then when you tell the truth, they pushing back on me. Oh, you talked about Thailand. No, I didn't. I said I talked about Soy Six. I
Mm-hmm.
was shocked. I'm thinking, oh, these are going to be, not knowing, because I don't know Thailand. Not knowing that it's really like the low budget area.
Mm-hmm.
There's much better looking women available. I was just telling them what I saw there. I mean,
Right.
it's just thousands. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
literally thousands of women on both sides of the street. Remind me of Tijuana when I went to Tijuana the last time in
Mm.
like 2002. I mean, for as far as you can see, it's nothing but women on both sides. And they had some stunners in Tijuana, but
Mm.
they're not regular women.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Beecher like said, get that yummy six. Yeah, see, and you done with it over here. See, and that's what I like. It's like it gives you some kind of normalcy because I've got to be able to relax. I got to be comfortable with a woman. I don't care what she look like. You can't just jump in my bed and open your legs. That's just how I am, man. He said, beware of those lady boys there. Yeah, them big faces, they can't fool me anymore. Them lady boys, they yeah, they don't fool you, man. Look at their face. They still have the same bone structure as a damn man. They'll try to hide most of their face with their hair, But you can't fool me. And plus they're big, they're taller. I was looking at my buddy, the past what poor man's passport guide, and hell, he's basically dating men with wigs, basically, because they're not fooling me. I'm like, dude, that's a man. I'm sorry, at least
Everybody like what they
at
like.
least fool, at least fool me. He's not even fooling nobody. It's like, dude, you know, Robert James said Filipinos love a man with a sense of humor who doesn't take himself so seriously. Ask her if I'm right. Yeah, Choice 6, that's where it was. But he called the video Walking Street and it got almost 1 million views. Well, it did get 1 million views. And all he's doing, he's got like a hidden camera. And he's just showing one side of the street. And I'm like, man, guys, see, that's what they want you to do over here and get to earn their view. They want you to walk and show all these women. I won't do that, man. I'm not going to do it because all you got to do is come over here. I'm not going to do that. But this guy, all he did was show one side. It wasn't even a good video because he's walking and it looks like he's got his camera and he's really walking. He's just catching these women. It's like he got 1 million views on that video. I'm like, wow. He said after a few drinks, they all look good. He said Dominicans said they ain't black. Well, my wallet said it hates self-hate racism. So DR can't get my money. Well, you got to kind of understand people's culture, man, and
Right.
how they even got that way.
Right.
They believe the lie. See, once you get a certain age, man, and you can know for yourself that the color of your skin has nothing to do with your character, who you are as a person. If you want to hold on to that stuff, then okay. But when that type of stuff is beat into their heads, those are where those slave farms and stuff was, where they broke Africans in the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, and all them places, right? They have to make slaves. Africans didn't just get off those ships and be slaves. It's a process that they went through. A lot of fear, a lot of, man, torture, a lot of everything, man. We sugarcoat slavery. They never show that part of it. Like, how did they turn these people who were regular people into slaves? The fear is so bad that they don't even want to try to run off.
Mm.
That's where all that stuff was done over there, not in the United States. They got to the Dominican Republic and all those places where Christopher Columbus actually landed. Christopher Columbus, see, they keep telling the story over and over and it becomes the truth. He did not discover America. He never stepped foot in America. He never glimpsed America. Okay? So y'all can stop that lie right there. He never even saw North America where we live today. Okay? But those were a lot of slave breaking going on over there. And hell, black people used to be the same way in the United States. The light-skinned people got the best treatment, got the better jobs. Yeah, like I got amnesia. There's still to this day, you got something going on about light-skinned brothers and black and dark-skinned brothers over there. Light-skinned men today are looked at as being weak and soft. Come on, guys. Y'all know that. 2006 for me, the last time I went to Tijuana, and I only lived 17 miles away. Wow. The one thing I remember about Tijuana, I love their tacos. There's some great looking tacos, man. I mean, great tasting tacos. And of course, there, because I was with a bunch of men. It was our job. We were in LA and we were in a van and drove all the way to Tijuana because they wanted to see it. So we went inside the little clubs, and they naked. They 100% naked there. He said, hands, feet, and Adam apple. So I guess they got all that going on in the DR, I'm sure.
I have not heard of any lady boys. I'm sure, that type of behavior goes on, but there's still a
Yeah,
strong of feminism with the women and strong masculinity with the men. I
yeah.
don't know.
Robert James says
Never
what
heard
I
of.
learned. Yeah, Robert James says what I learned from my experience is that if you talk about divorce, talk about divorce, you will probably get a divorce. Stay positive. Now, one thing I can say about American men, we are soft on women, man. That's why we have a problem with women. See, that's why American women and Western women have a hard time going out, these passport sisters, traveling, meeting these men because they're strict. They're so used to, American men being so lenient with them, because see, a man overseas, man, they'll put their hands on a woman in a minute. Like, you're going to be submissive. You're going to submit to me. And they're not used to that over there. They've got us afraid to be real men over there. So when we come over here, the women run circles around us because we bring the same behavior over here. We're very, very soft, man. But you don't want to admit it. That's why when I was trying to get guys to see it when I said, why do so many men, why do they relationships, why are they failing over there? What are we doing wrong over there, Chris, that we can't keep a woman?
Well, I just think there's a whole anti men anti-man cultural thing going on right now. You know, so I think men aren't really sure the roles in relationships at this point, unless you from the old school, you know, or unless you have a strong foundation of maybe family members or you know your church or whatever that's rooted in another era, shall we speak? Of this new era is very anti men. So I think the men just don't really know what to do anymore.
Yeah, I'm just saying, do women are not going to take the treatment that they took in the 50s and 60s, right? They've been taught that they're equal, which they're equal, but they're not the same. Okay. And so a lot of men that were on my panel the other day, they were saying, well, I've got the last say so in my house. Well, they may be causing you a problem. I'm not saying don't do that, don't have the last say,
Right.
but women aren't used to that over there anymore. They're not going to go for that. If you have one that's going to go for that, you better be making the right damn decision. First of all, because the first time you make the wrong damn decision, she's stepping in there, you know. So I guess she's gonna say, okay, you can make the right decisions if you make it. I mean, you can make the final decision if you're making the right ones.
Right.
But I tell you, man, I'm just being honest, man. The way we spoil women, that's why they love American men, especially over here. I don't know about the DR. Filipinos marry American men 10 times more than anybody else. It don't even come close. There's a reason they do that, Chris.
Hmm.
Not only because they have a lot in common with us, we're easy, we're soft. Okay.
Right.
But we won't admit it. We think we coming over hard, man. You can't go against your thinking, man. You know good well you're gonna spoil the woman. You're gonna let her have her way. As long as you getting what you want. You don't want no trouble. We're not confrontational over there. So we don't want any trouble.
Hmm.
Okay. And that's one of the, they talking about, yeah, keep her over here. Don't take her to America. Well, that's one of the consequences of staying over here. You got to walk on eggshells in your own house. You know, what are you doing, booby?
Hmm.
Are y'all going to the swimming pool today? Okay. They're going swimming today. Hey, Freddie Sanders, thanks for that super chat. He said, keep up the great work, Cal. Thank you, man. Yeah, they love American men. And see, and Frank Ellis said, you saw what happened to that sister in Dubai. She got
Right.
checked big time.
Right.
You know, they threw her ass in jail. See, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you for reminding me of this. It's different outside the United States. You
Yeah.
know, they come over, but we do the same thing. They come outside the United States thinking everything works the same way as it does in America. So she's over there screaming and hollering at men. They threw
Right.
her ass in jail. Like, that don't work over here.
Right.
Okay? That's the same stuff we do. So all you got to do, if you want to see the mistakes you making, look at the mistakes the women making. We're coming out of the same environment, guys. We're being grown out of the same soil over there. But we just want to point at the woman and say, no, they're the problem. No, you're the problem. You're soft, man. You're weak over there. You don't know how to really, you don't have an iron fist over there. You can't anymore. They'll lock you up for just looking at a woman the wrong way over in America. So it's got us scared. We're afraid to be real men over there. And Filipinos are watching it. They say, yeah, these American men, they're easy. They're generous. They'll spoil you. They'll give you all their money. All we got to do is be women over here. All we got to do is the same thing we do for the Filipino man. And we're going to have it a lot better. It's going to be easier. Because, hell, these Filipino men, they'll go upside their heads over here. Get out of line. Think I'm playing. If it ain't Filipino men out here now, bear witness to what I'm saying. I mean, just like we got Black History Month over there, they got Women's Month over here. There's a reason they got that, man. They say, hey, women matter over here. What you eating over there? He says, yeah, you can't. Yeah, but you can't do that. DJ said, I went to the Virgin Islands and they love USA men because they pay a lot of money for a date. We do, man. We spoil women. They love us over here. That's why a lot of times, see these Australian men, a lot of my subscribers are from Australia and I talk to them face to face. They don't be playing, man. They do not be playing with women over here like we do. They say that, they don't want to be a doormat. And then what we do, the men, we get off the plane, we lay down for the women. But they say, I don't want to be a doormat over there. But the minute we get off the plane, we lay down, man. I see it. I'm telling you what I'm seeing. Okay, these guys are laying down over here. They got their old man wake-up call over here. Chris, did they get it over there?
Well, I got a buddy, and he's 65. He likes to date 25-year-old women. So his plan is to go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, so he can stay in shape.
Yeah. But he's going to get his wake-up call. That's why I don't sweat women anymore, because eventually all you got to do is be patient. They're going to get old. They're going to hit the wall. Long before we do. He says, yeah, in the UAE jail might have saved her uppity life. Yeah, she's back in America now, and she's humbled, man. I saw the news people interviewed her the minute that she came back in the airport, man. She was scared to death. It humbled her. Yeah, she's like, I was so afraid. There was nobody over there for me to help, to talk to. She didn't know what was going to happen. So she said, yeah, it was terrible. I bet she won't go back over there.
Right.
That's a fact. He said women talk bad about our Sims, even NBA players. But we grow from the same soil over there. You would have to be a freak of nature in the way that you handle women and treat women to be any different than what any other man is doing. I mean, unless you're young and still in high school, and you know how that goes. But if you're a man and you've had several relationships, and you know, in your subconscious mind, you've already figured out what you got to do to get a woman that you want. I mean, if you want to call it being a simp, I don't know. But you ain't no tough guy dealing with these women. These tough guys don't have women, man, unless they got money too.
Right.
But a woman just ain't gonna deal with all that, you know, treatment. Now, if you come to a place where they're used to that, where they used to, you don't have to do nothing. You don't even have to change. All you got to do is come over here. They're already used to washing the clothes, cleaning the house, making the dinner for you. You know, I was reading something. They did a survey back in 1957 at the University of Hawaii, and they talked to 20 couples. Most of them were white men with Filipino wives. They were either in the military or associated with the military. One of the things they said they had a problem with was, you know, cultural differences when it came to sex. And it said that Filipino women at the time, they were brought up in an environment to say, you know, we don't have to get off. You know, we don't have to have an orgasm just please the man. Okay. And that's why when you come over here, man, when I met Marilyn, she only had 2 orgasms her whole life. She was 36. So when you come over here in that type of environment, it's already set up like that. You don't have to do nothing but show up. But what do? We mess it up because we bring our thinking over here. We change the woman. We say, no, we don't want you doing all of that. We bring all that feminism over here. The men do it, not the women. We do it. Oh, you don't have to wash clothes anymore. Oh, you know, let's all eat at the same time. We do all of that. We change that over here, guys. Listen to me what I'm telling you. Don't quit blaming it on feminists. You the biggest feminist when you come over here. You change the women. You spoil them. Oh, you don't have to work. You don't have to do nothing. I'm going to buy you everything. Now here's global go-getter. No, okay, I just don't deal with American females no more. No simping, no tricking. I'm good on that. But you're the problem. You know, you're the problem, man. You got to fix yourself. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Filipinos have a culture. It's already there, cemented for centuries. And we come over here and break it. We shatter that. And we become our worst enemy. John Morrison says, my Asawa slapped a guy yesterday for trying something in the store. He started using bad language. Before I could get to the guy, a few Filipinos took care of it. They didn't want me to get arrested. So she slapped him?
Wow.
I'd like to see that. I would have loved to seen that. Do you know Filipinos slap a man? Filipinos known to slap a man. Whatever. Gerald Wilkinson, Cal, you said previously you don't usually read fiction. I think you might enjoy reading a book written by Maya Angelou's son, Guy Johnson, titled Standing at the Scratch Line. Read the inner cover. Okay. Now that's normally I don't, but remember I read The Private Dancer. It's got to be really interesting for me to suspend my intelligence, and that's what I have to do with. The only time I usually can do that is when I go to the movies. You gotta suspend your intelligence. You gotta believe that cars can talk and all that stuff. You're not gonna get into a movie. You're not gonna enjoy it, right? It's hard for me to do that with books. But you know, The Private Dancer was really, really a good one. So yeah, I'm gonna take your advice. But yeah, Chris, we getting ready to get off here, man. Tell us something about your work. Because you're my homeboy, man, I'm gonna help you the best we can. I'm gonna ask the community to help you. You know, these guys, man, when you see men doing something positive, we're not selling drugs, we're not doing all that other stuff. We need to support each other. I put some links to some of your work in my description. I put your you sent me the website, I put that there. Check him out, man. Give him some support, guys. You know, one of the guys, Andrew something, he called me one time. He said, Calvin, you know, one of the problems with men in America, he said, is that we don't support other men like we should. The only way that men can support them. But we'll come over here, we'll give all our money, we'll throw all our support behind women and then complain about it. But I'm going to give you the last, because I got to get off here Sunday. You know, we go to the store on Sunday. I'm going to give you the last say, and let's go online and support this guy, because I'm going to order one of your books. I'm going to order the new one, because I want to see your writing style.
I appreciate it. Like I said, my website is ChristopherWilliamsTheWriter.com, specializing in sci-fi, horror, and urban thrillers. My last work was, I was saying earlier, was actually in my memoirs from 1979 to 1989. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you shake your head. If you grew up during the 80s, it's a lot of references. Actually, Calvin, one of the things that one traumatic episode of my lifetime too is dealing with busing. You remember when they made kids in our community go to Valley Station and you know all these other
Yeah.
it was a traumatic thing in my life growing up. And I tell people about it. Our school bus that got shot up one morning. We was going to school, and a lot of my friends, like especially in Atlanta, they're like, no, it couldn't have happened, man. It was what, 1979? I said, yeah, it happened. It's in my lifetime. It's a real thing. It wasn't just in the 50s or the 40s or whatever. In my lifetime. So anyway, I go through all of that, and I also talk about when my mom met my stepdad. He was my hero.
Yeah.
So it goes through the whole cycle of their relationship, me looking up to him, you know, getting in trouble, and then they fall. Eventually the wheels fall off of that wagon, and it just really shows how important men are in the household and men are in relationships, because regardless whether we want
You
to
know,
believe
it's
it,
funny you brought that up, because I forgot to talk about it.
yeah.
See, my mother was a single mother when my father died. See, why do we have so much problem dating single mothers when we come out of a situation, a lot of us, where our mothers were single mothers, and we saw how strong they were. We saw how they were able to walk the line, and they didn't compromise any of their morals or values or anything. I just think that men are just becoming so unreasonable today. I mean, I'm not picking on men. You can do whatever you want to do. Everybody has their preferences. But I'm saying the minute you find it hard, what you do, some guy jumped in my comments. Now, my last video was about my walk. But he jumps in my comments talking about, oh, you went over there and you're with a single woman, a single mother, and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. I'm like, dude, what's that got to do with this video? We got a big problem with that, man. So this is the type of thinking that messes us up, that gets in our way of finding a good relationship, of keeping a good woman, you know. But yeah, my mother was a single mother. Yours was, you know, and my stepfather stepped in, retired from the Air Force, took care of us, man, really well. Now, what platform is the book on again, Chris?
I have a website, ChristopherWilliamsTheWriter.com, and
It's in my description.
I sell them through Amazon. I sell them on the Kindle, or you can buy. You can order hardbacks also.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Amazon, and also, is it Christopher Williams or Chris Williams?
ChristopherWilliamsTheWriter.com.
ChristopherWilliamsTheWriter.com. And it's in my link, because I want to help you, man. You know, I get behind men when they doing something positive, man. It's that simple, man. And I don't apologize for it. You know, because like I said, we're not out here selling drugs, we're not gambling, we're not creating these old Ponzi schemes and stuff like that. you know, it's entertainment. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for stopping by, for all your super chats. Alex Jacob, man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. I'm going to Cebu. Me and Marilyn to go tomorrow. I'm gonna pick up those shoes. All of your support, your help, your encouragement for this walk, because it's not easy. You know, I make it look easy, but no, it's not. It's not easy, guys. So take care, stay safe, help somebody, man. And I'll see y'all next time. Thanks again, Chris, for your time, man. I know you just came back from a wedding. You're tired, man. Go on and get you something to eat, man.
Appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Cal.
Yeah, rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett, too, guys. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. He made a career off that one song, by the way. All right, guys.